How did you feel about this? Can you see that there's any, in your past or in this relationship, the way you've looked for a partner or people that or personas que you've been attracted to? How do you feel about this?
Hi, my name is Ulysses.
Hey, this is Ernesto.
And this is our channel.
Welcome to our channel.
So today we're gonna do something different.
Something crazy.
Today, Ernesto and I are gonna talk about the time that we went to a couples therapy session.
You might be wondering, they just got engaged, so why are they seeing a therapist? One, we saw the therapist before we got engaged. But two, I think overall, not to jump the gun, but overall, I think what I ultimately learned that it's always a good time for therapy.
Yeah, Ernesto and I weren't in the brink of a breakup or anything, or like nothing traumatic happened to us, but we had a session and found out that it made our already strong relationship so much stronger. The exercise included, without going into too many details, it was an exercise based on finding traits that our parents have and then seeing which traits related to your partner.
There's a lot of similarities I have with Yuli's mother, and Yuli had a lot of very similar similar traits to my mom. And it was just really a really good exercise to really dig deep and find out a lot of your motives for things and a lot of like why you act a certain way.
What I took away from it, or what was interesting to me about it, was that as I was listing the traits of my parents, both good and bad, it was very interesting for me to see how so many of them applied to Ernesto. You know, like when I fell in love with Ernesto or when we were dating, I wasn't like, oh, he reminds me of my mom and dad, this is the one. You know, like it just is something that you do subconsciously, and to actually list it and then to be like, oh yeah, Ernesto's like this. Oh yeah, Ernesto's like this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ernesto has these good traits and these bad traits. Like, whoa.
When we were younger, we developed these defense mechanisms. So for me, it was being alone or feeling like I was alone, and how I dealt with that. A lot of those kind of defense tactics are still the defense tactics that I use. Just the way I used to act out with my parents is a similar way as I act out with Uly.
When I was younger, I would make myself very busy. I was involved in a lot of extracurricular activities, and I don't really have a good way of expressing my emotions in the moment. Usually when I feel an intense emotion, I just bottle it down and I don't really express it. So a lot of the times when we're going through something, I will busy myself and I won't express the emotion, and I'll just like forget about it or let it go. And it was nice to, one, realize it and acknowledge it for both of us, I think, because now when Ernesto does those things that he's so used to from childhood, I can have a better understanding of what he's going through and why he's choosing to shut me out.
Probably the best takeaway of going through this exercise was really for me understanding the why. We're at the point where I think, we think we know each other so well. Really trying to figure out how each other's minds work is just a whole nother layer that going through therapy can help with. I mean, I know that Uly sometimes likes to avoid confrontation. I know that Uly sometimes would rather not talk about it. But it was really doing the exercise and knowing, well, why does Uly feel this way? Why can't Uly just see that we're just talking? I just really loved knowing Uly that much more.
I feel like we can both acknowledge the ways that we deal with conflict in ourselves and both acknowledge it for the other partner, but then also try to take down some of those defense mechanisms within ourselves, right? Like Ernesto can understand that I choke my emotions down and I'm a busybody, but I also have to be able to express my emotions, or at least try, because it's not healthy to choke your emotions down.
Yeah.
In the end, I feel like we were a very strong couple going into the therapy session, and we left there with so much more of a better understanding of the other person and their emotions, and therefore so much more of a stronger couple.
Yeah, as two people who will soon be getting married, we want to make sure that we're married for the rest of our lives, and therapy just made us stronger.
Agree.
So that was a lot of the therapy and what we learned.
Yeah, I think we told you everything.
But I do want to mention one thing. We also have to do this all in Spanish.
Oh yeah, we did it all in Spanish.
I mean, I would say I'm 80% fluent. I mean, my mom would kill me if I say I'm 80% fluent. She really would want me to be 100% fluent, but let's be real. And Uly's what?
Not as fluent.
Not as
I'm not
fluent.
putting a percentage.
Oh, I also learned during this session that I should not make fun of Uly when he speaks in Spanish, because that's only going to demotivate him from speaking more Spanish. Probably haven't been that good about that. Shout out to Carla for also trying her best.
Yes.
So that was this week's video. If you haven't already, take the time to subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment down below, like it, all that jazz. And we'll see you next Thursday.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
That was it. Oh.